Hello, it's Just Coming here. Welcome back to Minecraft Story Mode, and today we're doing the full chapter of Giant Consequences. So, yeah, this is like a little mini-series I'm doing now, where I go through all of the chapters that I've done my playthrough on. And, yeah, if you've not seen episode 1, I recommend you checking it out, where I go through all of episode 1 and letting you know. So today, we're going to be going through the whole episode 2. So this one was quite an interesting one. Yeah, it was really interesting. So, yeah, this is the main headline that happened in it. Powerful foes emerges in Beacon Town and subjects Jesse to some bizarre and deadly challenges. Friendships will be tested and new alliances formed as Jesse fights to save the world from a mighty enemy. So that's what happens. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, the first one is called I'm Back, Finally. So if you guys didn't know, I'm going to explain this first thing before we get into some other things. Yeah, so if you didn't know, guys, I had to take a bit of a gap from playing this game. The reason why for that is because when I played episode 1, I played it on the actual Xbox. I didn't actually have a game disc. So I had to wait a few weeks until I bought the actual game in a disc, so I can get all of the episodes on it, so I can get all of them. And yeah, I finally played it in the end after a few weeks. So yeah, I started doing this in October, by the way, and then there was a bit of a gap. So I think it was somewhere at the end of October I actually continued doing it. So yeah, it was somewhere like right near the end of the month, of that month. So that's covered that up. So, what happens at the start of this episode, if you don't know, is that giant Colossus fella that we saw, who's actually the admin, by the way. He turns up and he tries and destroys Beacon Town, if you don't know. He tries and destroys it. We have a chat with him. Apparently that was actually on Stampy's house, which I didn't even know about when we actually had a little chat with him. And then it turns out after that he started being evil. He mentioned about the weather storm that I did in the last season, saying about that I destroyed it and all that, which I did. And he said something about destroying the weather storm, awesome stuff or something. I think he said. I can't remember. Yeah, and then after that he just started turning really evil for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was like being really friendly. It turns out that it was the admin and it was just destroying everything. Yeah, and then after that, what happened after that is we had a massive distraction after that. We had to try and take him out, because if you didn't know, on the back of his head, there was like a green thing on the back, and we had to take that out. If you didn't know, that was actually from my glove that I wear on my hand. So what I had to do is I had to get it out of his head, by the way. That's what I had to do, by the way. And after that, he went all crazy. And then after that, we destroyed him. After that, that's what happened. And then the clock came down, by the way. Yeah, and then we destroyed him. And then that was the end. But it wasn't, by the way. That was not the end of that. Yeah, he did some crazy stuff, that admin. He spawned Googlies in, he turned it to night time. Yeah, he did a lot of things. He did a lot of things, but finally in the end we did destroy him, which was very good. Right, that now moves on to the next episode called Who Are You, by the way. And this, by the way, was a random strange character, which we didn't even know about, And it turns out that this was the admin. It turns out, so we destroyed the giant Colossus fella, and then all of a sudden, there was random snow coming down out of nowhere, because we weren't in a snow biome, and then this random bleeding snow guy turns up. I don't even know who he is, and it turns out that he was the admin in the end. It turns out that it was actually him. Yeah, he was saying like loads of random things. I didn't even know what he was even saying. And then Jesse mentioned about that, oh, you were the admin, and it turns out that he was. So, yeah, that was that. Yeah, there was a bit of a funny moment where Jack tried destroying his head, but his head just grew back. You probably know that anyway. But yeah, but there you go. And then the plan was, after that, was to go to his Palace of Despair. I can't remember what the actual name is now. Somewhat called Palace of Despair, anyway. And it's that on the screen here, look. Yeah, it's this palace here, by the way, if you didn't know. Yeah, it's that one right there that we had to go to. And the reason why that we had to go there is that we had to try and get the clock back, because the clock disappeared, and we had to try and get it back. And that was only the way that we had to go to actually get the clock back. And that's what we actually did, by the way. And yep, Stella did come with us in the end, unfortunately. I know I didn't like Stella in this episode, but apparently we had to come with her. So it was kind of all of us, Stella and Luna came as well. Well, we didn't have Stella at first until Stella appeared out of nowhere with Luna. Yeah, and then she just literally followed us to the palace, basically. And that's kind of what happened there, by the way. Yeah, because obviously at the beginning I didn't really like Stella. She just kept saying, "You're my rival," and stuff like that, and even though that we weren't rivals. So yeah, I don't even know what she was even on about, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, we went all the way to the palace. There was at one time when me and Petra had a bit of a chat, but I don't really need to mention any of that because it's kind of just what Petra said. So yeah, so we don't need to mention any of that. So yeah, so the next thing is we go to the palace. That's the next thing that happens in this one. We go all the way over there. We have to try and work it out, and then all of a sudden, the snowman guy appears again. The admin fella. He tells us about loads of things again, and he tells us about the mystery of the palace and all that. It turns out it was actually his palace in the end. It wasn't anybody else's. Yeah, and then after that, we go down into his palace. We drop all the way down into it, and then he disappears out of nowhere again. And then after that, we actually land in the palace. We actually land into it. We're on the ground. We're actually right on the ground, but we actually land into it. By the way, if you didn't know. And then after that, we have to work all sorts of mysteries in the palace. That's what happens next. And we have to try and work everything out. And then there is a point where we go separate directions. So it's Petra, Jack, and Voss going one way, and then it's Lucas and Radar going the other way. Stella just goes on her own, by the way, with Luna. She just like disappears and goes on her own, basically. So that's kind of what happens there. And the choice that I make, by the way, if you've actually not seen the actual video yet, the choice that I make is I go with Petra, Jack, and Voss. That's the way that I go, by the way. By the way, when I do a restart, by the way, or I do it again, I will be going the other direction, by the way. I will be going Radar and Lucas's way, because that's the way that I didn't go in the actual video. Like, the thing that I should have really done is I should have done like I should have done like an alternative episode where I do a separate video going the other way. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No, yeah, I could have really done that, but I didn't. I didn't end up doing that, which I should have really done, but I didn't. But yeah, like I said, the time that I'm going to do that is when I do a restart on it. If it's either a restart or if I do a live stream going through it again, or I do it in like a full video. See, one of them times I will go the other way, just to let you know. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I went Petra's way, basically. That's the way that I went in the video, and yeah, it was kind of quite interesting. There was a lot of stuff that happened, and then all of a sudden the snowman guy appears, and he does some mystery things again. He puts Petra and Voss in like a prison sort of a thing. He leaves Jack kind of in the middle, and we have to solve something to try and get them out. And the way that we had to do that is we had to do something in the middle of the maze, by the way. And if you didn't know, we had to like work out a pattern, by the way, which for some reason I struggled on doing for some reason. I don't even know why, but the pattern was really, really easy to do. It was really easy to make. The only thing we had to do is we had to copy it on the other side. That's all what we had to do. For some reason I struggled with it. I do not know why. I was awful playing. Don't even know what I was even doing. Yeah, I don't even know what I was even doing. But yeah, there you go. Oh, moving on to the next video. It says, who should I choose? And that was going back to what I said earlier about choosing either Petra, Jack or Voz, or Lucas and Radar. And yeah, as I said, I went that way. So yeah, that's what that video was all about, of who I chose. Yeah, so what happens next is we go to half Creeper and half Spider, because if you didn't know, it actually looked like half Creeper and a half Spider when you looked at him, by the way. So, there you go. Yeah, going back to that again, yeah, I had to work it all out, by the way. I had to work out the pattern. I did eventually do it in the end, by the way. And that moves on to the next episode called A Very Complicated Puzzle. And by the way, it wasn't even complicated. I don't even know what I was even thinking. It wasn't, by the way. It wasn't actually complicated at all. It was absolutely easy, by the way. The pattern was easy. Don't even know what I was even thinking. Yeah, it was an absolutely easy pattern, by the way. Absolutely easy pattern. So yeah, at that time I worked out all the pattern. I know that Voz gave us he gave us like an extra redstone block, didn't he? I remember. And then that extra redstone block was for the pattern, wasn't it? He actually found it in a chest that he was in, by the way. I think what I had to do is I had to give him a what was it, a torch? I think it was it? Yeah, a torch. And what he did is he shined it on the ice, and then there was a chest there, and then that's where the redstone block was, and then he gave it to me. So, yeah, that was that. And then on the other side, Petra had for some reason in her little prison she had like a pattern in hers with like loads of like random holes, and yeah, I don't even know like what that was even for. I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, going back to the pattern, we eventually did work out the pattern, and then if I do remember, the doors open. By the way, I think the prison doors open to get Voz and Petra free. And then after that, the iron doors open. By the way, you know the doors to get through to the other side, to get through to where the exit is, basically like the exit iron door is. And then after that, we have to work out another pattern. After that, to try and open the iron door. And yeah, like I said, this one was really easy again. It was a really easy pattern that we had to work out. Yeah, it was absolutely easy, by the way. A really easy pattern that we had to do. Yeah, and then after that, we're pretty much all back together after that. That's kind of what happens after that. Where obviously Lucas and Radar come along again from their one. And yeah, pretty much after that, we're all back together again, apart from Stella and Lucas and that. Yeah, we're pretty much all back together. But apart from Voz, though, something does happen to Voz, by the way, if you don't know. So yeah, what happens to him is I think he falls down something. I actually can't remember what it is now. But yeah, he actually kind of falls down something. It's kind of like a thing that he falls down on, kind of like what Stella did. Stella kind of falls down it as well. Yeah, it's like a giant waterfall, but it's like a downslide waterfall. It's kind of like a downslide waterfall that happens to him. Yeah, it's kind of like a downslide waterfall that happens, by the way. And yeah, that's where Voz ends up, by the way. And speaking of him, we will be talking about him at the end, because something big happens to him at the end. So I know that you guys would know if you've watched every episode, but you would know what happens to him. So we'll be letting you know on that. So yeah, we're all back together apart from Voz. Obviously, he goes somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, the admin snowman fella appears again. And out of nowhere, and he just talks a load of rubbish again about things again. And yeah, and then there is a point where he chucks Radar out of nowhere. He just chucks him out, basically, and then he leaves us with all the random other fellas, basically, after that, with loads and loads of random things after that, basically. And then yeah, and then after that we just make our way forward. He disappears out of nowhere again, and then we yeah, he finishes his chit chat, and then he disappears, and then we just move forward and try and get in the clock. That's what happens after that. We just have to try and escape. We have to make things. We have to make a diamond tool in the video to try and like break out and try and get to the clock bit and stuff like that. And that moves on to my next video now, which was called "What Was I Thinking?" By the way, and yeah, what was I thinking? By the way, yeah, it's kind of a bit of a funny saying, isn't it? Yeah, it was just something stupid that I did for some reason. That's why I called it that. It was just something silly that I did. So yeah, that's what that was all about. So yeah, and then after that we make our way up the clock to try and get to the clock. There was a choice where it was either I think it was Jack or was it Petra that were doing the clock, and I think I said Jack, didn't I? Did I say Jack that did it? I think it was Jack that did it. I'm pretty sure. I think it was Jack. I can't remember now. I can't remember which one I chose now. It was either Jack or Petra. I can't remember. Like I said, if you've seen every video, then you would know what choice I made. Yeah, but whatever one I chose, got the clock down, and yeah, we managed to get it. We managed to get the clock back, and then Stella turns up in an icy block thing. Yeah, she turns up, and also Luna does appear somewhere as well, in that as well. And then yeah, and then after that I had a choice whether to either leave Stella or set her free. And my choice were, if you saw the video, I left her there, basically. I left her there. So yeah, that's what I did, by the way. That's what I did. I left her there. Yeah, because it was the right decision. I'm not sure if it was on other people's minds, but yeah, I found that was the right decision because I didn't like her in the end. But when we do the restart, we'll do it the other way around this time when we do it on a restart. But yeah, in my opinion for the series, I just thought that was the best idea. Just leaving her there, because all the things that she's caused since I've met her is not right. By the way, it's not right. So yeah, it was the best idea just to leave her there. That was kind of the main idea, just to leave her there. I just thought that was the best idea. So yeah, we did that. There was one point where Luna appears, but she moves away basically, because all in all, like, she didn't like Stella in the end. Like, I know that Stella was her owner, but she didn't even like Stella. She didn't even like her. Like to be honest, like, she could have been our owners in the end, not Stella's owner. But yeah, she didn't like her at all. By the way, she didn't even like her. So yeah, and then after that, when we get to the clock, we get to like near the ending, by the way, and that comes to my final video, which is called No Way and Finale. So that comes to my final video now of episode 2. So yeah, we get to the ice bit, by the way. There's kind of a bit where we get up to now, and then there's like an exit, by the way, where there's like a big light, and that's actually the exit. And then something dramatic happens at the end, if you don't know. So Voz turns up out of nowhere, by the way. He says a load of this stuff that we don't know what's happening. And then yeah, something dramatic happens. He goes into like a big thing, and then whoop! Out of nowhere, he's the admin. He's the admin fella. Yeah, and we didn't know all this time that he was the admin. So it was not the Colossus fella. It was not the snowman guy. It was him. It was Voz. He was the admin. All of this time we knew about him. Thought he was friendly. Turns out he was the admin. He turns all black. You can kind of tell what the thumbnail is. He turns all black and red with his weird looking eyes. And it turns out that he's the admin in the end. It turns out that it was him. I didn't even know it was him. I didn't even know that it was him. And all of us didn't even know. He tricked us. He tricked us all this time when we met him. It was actually him. And I was really shocked when I heard it. I was really shocked when I found out. I was really shocked when I found out that it was him. Yeah, and after that, he just started saying all this admit kind of stuff. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he just kind of he started saying all this admit stuff about that he's going to destroy us and stuff like that, and all this random sort of things, and all of that. And yeah, I did not like it. I did not like it at all. Yeah, and we were just all deeply shocked about it. But yeah, he was the admin. He was the admin all this time. We didn't even know he was. We didn't even know, but we found out he was. And yeah, he starts doing all this random things and stuff like that. And then after that, it's over. After that, it's the end. And then the final thing that he does, he drops us down into like a massive hole with all of us. Yeah, there's a thing that Jesse does at the end, and he goes, and then it ends after that. And then that's when episode 3 arrives. Okay. So yeah, that's the whole of episode 2, guys. That is what happens. So yeah, the main headline of this one is it's Voz that turns into the admin. Okay, all this time Voz is the admin, which we didn't even know about. So yeah, that's what happens, by the way. Yeah, that's the whole of episode 2. Yeah, the main headline is the real admin is Voz. So that's the main headline, by the way, that we know about this episode. So yeah, so that's Giant Consequences. Yeah, that's everything that I've gone through of that episode, and yeah, that's what happens in that one. So yeah, if you've not watched all of them, I will leave all the videos in the description. If you've not seen them all and you want to go and watch them all again. Or if you've not seen, well, if you have seen them and you want to watch them again, then I will leave them in the description. Or if you've not seen them, then you kind of go and watch them right now. If you've not seen them. So yeah, that's what happens. That's the story of episode 2. That's the main thing that happens. Yeah, you know, there was a lot of things that happen in it. But there you go. There you go. That's what happens. So. Yeah, like I said, I will be doing a restart on this again at some point, so stay on for that. I will be doing that again, and I will be letting you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. So the next one is episode number 3, called Jailhouse Block, and I will be going through all the headlines on that one and what happens in that one. But all in all, the story was getting pretty intense, by the way. I know that there was like a lot of there was like a lot of mix-ups that happens with the admins and stuff like that, but no, we finally found the real admin now. We finally found the real one. Like the other 2 were like non-existent ones. But yeah, we now finally found the real one now. The real admin. And oh yeah, another thing, he takes the glove away as well off my hand, and I think he puts it on Jack, if I remember. I think he puts it on Jack, doesn't he? Yeah, and then I think it like turns like all red and black, basically. That's kind of the main event that happens. So yeah, I think I might have gone through everything now from that episode. Yeah, I think I've gone through everything. I don't think I've missed anything. I might have missed a few things out. But yeah, I've kind of gone through the main headline anyway from what happens in this one. So yeah, so the main headline is we go to the palace. That's the main headline, because you can see in the picture there. And we solve puzzles, get the clock, and then Voz, the real admin, turns into him. So that's the main headline. That's the main one that happens. Main thing that happens. And all of that. And yeah. So yeah, that's the whole of episode 2. So hopefully you have enjoyed me going over it in a full chapter. Let me know if you have enjoyed it. So yeah, so like I said, if you do want to watch all the videos, I will leave it in the description. I did 7. yeah, 7 videos of this one. So yeah, if you do want to check them all out, I will leave them in the description down below, and you can go and watch them all from there. But yeah, it is a pretty intense episode, by the way. So if you do want to watch them all, you can from that way. Or if you want to watch the whole playlist, I will leave that in the description as well. So if you can go and watch all of them in order from start to finish, and you can do that. So yes, so I'll be doing episode 3 next, so stay on for that. And yeah, that one is called Jailhouse Block. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this full chapter of me going over all of the story headlines from Giant Consequences Season 2. That's it for now, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later.